Well, hey, hope everyone's having a good week and enjoying yourselves. I wanted to go over this week's video lesson and talk about item I'm always excited to talk about, and that's mobile safety apps. My college was one of the first in the state, actually the first in the state, to have a mobile safety app. And I want to show you some mobile safety app features and things you can do with mobile safety apps. So let me share my screen with you here real quick. All right. I'm saying there's a problem. So let me try one more time and just make sure it works. There we go. All right. So I want to show you some of the features of the safety app. So there's many kinds of safety apps that you can use, and in this case, we are going to use the LiveSafe app. So that's what we use at my university, and as you can see on your screen, you would just download the LiveSafe app. Now, some require registration, some don't. It's up to the app company how they want to do that and how they want to track it. I think as we see more and more apps come out, they will allow them to be anonymous. However, they are still going to require registration so that if you submit like a bomb threat or something, you you'll have a record of who did that. But so you would just click on that LiveSafe app right there, and then it would open this screen up for you, and this is your options within the app. Your first one is probably the most used on a college campus, I would say, and that's this report tips button right there. So when you hit report tips, you have some generic tips that you can report: vandalism, accident, assaults, whatever, or you have an other that you can select. From there, one of the advantages of these apps is that you can go ahead and add a video, add audio, or add a picture of what you're submitting, and then you can just type in a little message to the dispatcher of what's happening, and then down here you can click on this button that says I want to send this anonymously, and submit that tip anonymously if you want to. If you don't, then the dispatcher will actually see your registration information. This is just them submitting a picture. Then you get yourself a little your tip number, and you can click on done. And here in a little bit I'll show you how this feature works and the conversation that you can have in just a moment. But that is submitting your tip. Now, you submit your tip, and the dispatcher wants to send you a message. You can actually get a pop-up message with this app, and you can have a conversation, a two-way conversation with the dispatcher. This is effective for us in the law enforcement world because oftentimes the tip submitter is not giving us all the information that we need to have for this tip. They're not law enforcement, they're just a citizen. So we can open up a two-way conversation and have a chat with that person while allowing them to remain anonymous and ask them specific questions. The next button we have is a very interesting button, and that's the emergency button. So when someone hits that emergency button, they can either call 911, direct call campus police, or send a message to campus police. And what happens when they hit any of those buttons, you see down here on the bottom that they are getting a GPS tracking ping once they activate that. And that GPS tracking is going back to our office and allowing us to live track that person when they activate that emergency button. The reason that's important for us is I want you to imagine blue light poles throughout campus. And the conversation I have with a lot of parents and folks in the industry is I want you to imagine that you're running from an intruder, you're running from someone, and all of a sudden they get to a blue light pole and they hit that blue light pole button. What you have to remember is this is not tag you're it. Just because you get to that blue light pole doesn't mean that you're safe, right? And so you hit that blue light pole and button and the cops come running, but you're not there. They don't even know who hit the button. That's why apps like this are so effective in that type of environment, because it allows us to have a blue light pole in someone's pocket. And not only can they hit that to tell us that they're in trouble, we can start tracking them. On top of that, they don't even have to tell the person that the person you have to know that they've activated. This person just send us a message, and they can be walking down the street or text messaging us with us tracking them, knowing where they're at. It's a huge advantage to law enforcement. This view map, this allows law enforcement agencies to put specific things on the map. We can actually publish map information right here, and you can actually, if you're a city and you want to publish statistics or where crimes are happening and that kind of stuff, we can publish where fire departments are. We can publish where police departments are, those kinds of things. So you can just pull up your map and kind of use that map feature. At our campus, we actually put GPS tracking on all of our safe ride vehicles, and you can track where the safe ride vehicles are and find them using that map feature. The last thing is notify contacts, and this is an interesting one. What this allows you to do is if you're going to go take a walk, let's say, and you're going to take a walk around campus and you want to let your friends know where you're going to be at while you're taking that walk, you can actually ask someone to monitor your location, and they can actually follow you. And so this doesn't involve law enforcement. This doesn't involve the police department or the people on the other end of the app. This is basically just sending a GPS location with a message to someone in your contacts list so they can track your location until you arrive safely at your destination. And then you can say, thanks, we've gotten it. So that's just some information about that app. Now, I want you to see the back end of the safety app, so you can actually kind of experience you're going to experience exactly what a dispatcher is going to experience. So I'm going to go ahead and submit a tip for you. So this right here is Furman University. What you're seeing over here is a safe ride vehicle and another one of our safe ride vehicles. So the dispatchers can see where the safe ride vehicles are. And I'm going to pull up my app for you and submit a tip through it. So I'm going to submit a accident tip. I'm going to say this is a test. I'm going to go ahead and submit a picture with it. Because what would it be if we didn't submit a picture? So, done picture. And I was going to take a picture right here of our campus map and use this picture. Okay. And I'm going to send it. I'm not going to send it anonymously. I'm going to send it with my name on there. And I just hit send, and as you can see, it popped up right over here on the left-hand side as an alert. So we can go into that alert. It'll actually show us where the alert was submitted from. It'll give us information, and this is where you enter in the two-way conversation. So you can say, thank you, received your test alert. It's my email going off saying I've gotten alerts. You can see over here in the corner, it has a picture. Here's the picture I sent. I can open that up. I can forward this alert. And that will go to my cell phone. It will pop up on my cell phone. And then from my cell phone, I could, of course, send a message and say, any other additional information that I wanted to. We'll close this tip so that it doesn't show up on the map anymore. And so it shows up as closed. But that's how that system works. That's the cell phone alerting system that we use on my campus. So let's talk for a minute a little bit about what that means and what that is and what that's doing in society. It's doing a couple things for us. And law enforcement is allowing people to submit anonymous reports to us and kick back information to us, and allows us to open a two-way conversation with people in the community that we wouldn't traditionally get because they feel uncomfortable calling us. They don't want to talk to us on a telephone. Listen, society's moving into a base where a lot of people are communicating only via text message. And so it allows them to push that information to us. It also allows us as law enforcement to push information out to them, because people signed up with the app. We can actually do push messages and send out push information to their cell phone through that cell phone app. So it allows us to do that. Now, there's some limitations. One is it is anonymous. And so people can make some very serious allegations and very serious threats while remaining anonymous. And an ethical piece that you have to understand is, do you then get a warrant and find out who that anonymous person was, or do you allow it to remain anonymous? And that's a difficult decision to make, and that's something that you ethically have to decide for yourself as an agency. What do you want to do? On top of that, we have to ask ourselves, will this overload our dispatchers, right? Who's going to handle this monitoring? And if somebody submits that piece of technology, that request, and your dispatchers aren't properly monitoring it, they're not properly trained, and now this app goes into a situation where someone's being chased or they're being kidnapped or whatever, and now you're getting these alerts and no one's monitoring that, the liability that falls within your agency and the problems that you're going to have with that. So you got to kind of weigh that out. You got to kind of balance it and ask yourself, does it make sense for my agency? Do I have enough staffing personnel to properly handle this? And then how do I market it? How do I get people to download this app? In our situation, that's why we loaded our Safe Rides onto this app so that students could go on and use our app to track where the safety escort vehicles are. And because of that, they downloaded the app for that reason, because a lot of people in their mind don't think, well, I'm going to download the app in case there's ever an emergency, because they'll never download it in that case, because in their mind there's never going to be an emergency where they need a safety app. But in many cases, we may need that. One thing that this app will do that's really cool is during an emergency, we can actually push out a message and say, if there's a shooting, if you're inside the building and you need to get out, click this link and it will send us their GPS location of the people that are inside the building and need to get out so we can go and find them. So there's some huge technologies coming up with cell phone apps. Is actually going to be one of your assignments in this course, is research what safety apps are out there and how you would use them as a municipality. I think the use of the municipality is very different than the use on campus, and we'll kind of compare and contrast that. So I hope that you learned a little bit about cell phone apps. And like I said, as we grow out in this course, that's going to be one of your assignments, is to do the research on a cell phone app and make a presentation to a municipality on whether you should or should not get a cell phone app for your agency. So with that said, I hope you have a great week. Enjoy. Make sure you email me if you have any questions.